Welcome guys to Creative Effects. I hope you're all fine. Um, by the way, you are with Brombo once again. We just wanted to talk a little bit about how the PTMM template works, because some of you have been asking questions how the template rather works, But I would want to tell you that first things first, there is nothing greater than your mind and your eyes. No indicator is greater than your mind and your eyes. No matter how much indicators can actually give information to you, but you are the one who's going to press the buy and the sell, and you are the one who's going to give the judgment. So in any case, you can have any template that you can actually have, any indicators that you can have to use, but they will not be perfect all the time. But however, so in MMM method, we have this indicator that can be customized in so many ways. I sometimes hear people saying, oh, there's this advanced template of PTMM, there is this non-advanced. The whole point is we are just playing around indicators, playing around colors, and a lot of things, addition and suppression. So generally, as for me, this is how I like working with my template. So if you can check, if I press Control and I, Control and I will lead me to the indicators that are actually involved in my template, meaning to say that these are the indicators that I have added to the template. So I'm going to show you, if you go to View and then you click on Navigator, you see that on your navigator, where there are accounts and the like, and indicators, there's a whole lot of indicators. There are these indicators that come by default with your MetaTrader, and then there are these indicators that come with the PTMM installer. Sometimes we don't use the PTMM installer, but we just put the indicators ourselves manually. So these are some of the indicators, but it's not like we use them all. We pick, or rather select, those that we want to use, which we feel they are effective to us. So getting back to my template, on my template, if I press Control and I, you realize that I have, under my indicators, I have this indicator that I call the work time V1.541C. This is the indicator that changes the appearance of the template. So what I'm going to do is I will just, okay, let me just select another one, just maybe close here and select CAD JPY. And then from CAD JPY, maybe I'm just going to delete. Just going to delete. All right. Or maybe let me just open a new pair that hasn't been worked on. Right. Let me open a new pair that hasn't been worked on. Market watch, and maybe click on this one and say chat window. All right. So now it's working by default, but this is not what I want. So we're gonna try it again. Chat window. I don't know, maybe I need to set my picture to actually give me by default. So what we're gonna do, maybe let's just go quickly and delete some of these indicators that we have, so that we are left with a clean chart. Delete the indicators so that we are left with a clean chart. So in general, what I'm simply saying is, you can see when I'm removing the indicators that the chart is getting cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So in general, this is how my chart would look like, and that's how normally price action guys like to work on their charts. So this is how my chart looks like if it doesn't have any indicators. This background color you can actually change in any way you want. You can actually change the background color in any way you want. I'm sorry I couldn't remove these two indicators. But the whole point, what we are trying to say is, I want to show you the difference that the template brings. So let's assume this is a plain chart as it is and it doesn't have any indicators. So if I am to add my indicators, then I'll have to come to Navigator window. If I am to add the TDI, I'm going to drag and drop the TDI right here. So these indicators, they are all preset. Then I'm going to select there, and that's how it's going to come out. My indicator, the TDI, it's already there. You can see for yourself showing me the buy signal, the sell signal, the one that I gave you today. That's how it is. So I'm not going to go deeper and talk about how a TDI works. I'm just showing you how it will be appearing in our template. I can come here maybe and say, maybe I want an indicator that will show me the timelines. Okay, maybe this one that will show me the time frames. This one will show me the time frames and also show me even the number of my favorite pairs that I want. So if I click it like this, this is how it's going to appear. But normally I like working with it without that. So I normally delete all these pairs, and then for corner I change to 2 so that it will appear on the left side of my chart so that I don't get too much information on that side. So if you press Control I, this is where you see the list of your indicators that are involved. So it's not like it's a template that just comes on its own. The template, yes, it can come as an Excel file, but it does have indicators. So once you install it, you are offloading, or rather extracting off the indicators that are in that Excel file, so such that you can actually manipulate or rather delete any indicator that you don't want. Now, this one here, it talks about the ADR. So in general, you can look at these boxes that I placed here. If I am to take the cross and move that cursor, you'll find that that is about 75 pips or so. So the ADR in general, I'm simply saying one ADR is 74 pips. So I'm simply saying that my dealer would have moved 74 pips for me to say one ADR is complete, and move another 74 pips for me to say my ADR complete. You get how it coincides with the levels. And then you move the last ADR for me to say ADR 3 is complete. And after he has done that, look at what it does. So if I am to calculate from here to there, I should get at least 221, or I should get either more or less. However, these ADR changes, I think they calculate using 20 days, so it changes the value. So if I'm to calculate from there to there, I should get a value at least around that. If I'm calculating this, I'm getting a value at least 74 pips each. So this is the guideline of the ADR, 3 times ADR indicator. That's exactly what it will be rather showing you. So if I am to take my cross and place it here and move it from there up to there, that's when you see that I'm getting about from there up to where the price turned, about 240 pips. And where my ADR times 3 was about 225. So it means it was showing me that I'm expecting a reversal. This is why I said when Chief JPY gets there, I'm expecting a sell. But this doesn't mean that it's the only thing that actually moves me into selling the pair. This is just a guideline to saying I'm expecting this kind of move from this setup because of ABCD. So this is one of the reasons why. Now, so from the indicators, these ones now, it's only that I wouldn't want to be selecting time frames from the top there. So it means I can actually delete these time frames and put other important things that I feel I need the most. So with this one, I can actually select from here. I can actually select whatever time frame that I want to see. So you can see I can actually select whatever time frame that I want to see from there. So I'm not going to talk about all this detail that is on top there because these ones, I assume everyone knows about them. Now, if you check again, if I am to select the work time tab, the work time tab now is the one, the indicator, the one that I say it has got a lot of information. It shows you, it's the one that draws the Asian boxes, it's the one that draws the New York boxes, it's the one that draws the session changeover boxes. So it's the one that plots all those. You can actually change the information here wherever I want. You will find that my broker, the one that I use, XNET, starts the day at 2, but I choose to select from 12 o'clock because I feel the information that happens at 2, I don't need it. So I choose 12. So if I press it like this, you find the Asian boxes, they come. So these are equals to what information. Normally I don't need it. So what I do is I press Control I and then go to my indicators, to the work time indicator. Then where it's written draw Asian box true, I leave it like that. Where it's written draw Asian box text, I make sure I place a false, and then I move to wherever there is another box, the Euro text, written false, false. There is the New York text there. I place a false again because I don't want to see any text. If I get to the market open, I place a false again there because I don't want to see anything like that. So after I've done that, then I press OK. Even here, you can actually select that if a pair is nearing 800 pips, it should give you an alarm to say I'm getting closer to 800 pips or 50 pips or 200, depending on with whatever you want to do. So if I press OK, you will see that the information that was there is actually disappeared. Now, so the blue box is my Asian box. If I'm to switch to 15 minutes, you'll find that from the 15 minutes, even looking at this day, you realize that you have, this is what you call your Asian box. That there. Don't worry about these dotted yellow line. The dotted yellow line, normally I would want to see the high of the Asian, the low of the Asian, and also the weekly part of the Asian. That is the reason why I've got these yellow boxes. So you can actually place them, you can actually erase them. It's all up to you. Now, this box right here is called the market session changeover. It actually shows me that the Asian session ended here. Then from here up to there wasn't anyone in the market. Not really to say people were not trading, but the market is no owner at this point in time. So they are changing hands. They are closing their books, balancing them off and changing hands and giving the market to the London guys. The London guys, they take the market from here and they move it off and they start to balance their books right there. And you will find that during these session times, that's where you find that's where they release the news, the USD news and the GBP Euro news. Just check very well. That's where they release the news, the card news during session changeovers. That's where the dealer normally releases news. That's the reason why I always say that trading news is very simple. It doesn't really need any analysis. Now, the red box right here is called the New York session. It's called the New York session. The New York session, which is the US session. So the New York session, then this one is the London session for the GBPs and the Euro pairs. Then this one is the Asian session for the New Zealand and the Aussie pairs. So in general, that is about the work time tab. So I will only be talking about the important stuff. Those things that are not important, I'm not going to mention about them. So the whole point is playing around the indicators that you feel they work best for you. So I'm not going to be adding all indicators, but I'll only be adding the indicators that I feel are the most important. But you are allowed to add any more indicator as you wish. Now, there is this 3-level trend indicator. 3-level trend indicator, right? I've dragged and dropped it there. 3-level trend indicator normally shows me an end of a trend. 3-level indicator normally shows me an end of a trend. So right here, there was a 3 to show me that the trend is changing. Right there was a 3 to show me that the end was trending. So these, they come as added confirmations. Like I always say that indicators, they're added confirmations. They are not the reason why you should take a trade. They should be added confirmations. You should first have a confirmation, which is price action, and then you continue to have the confirmation, which are your indicators. So this one, it's simple. If I see a 3 turning, you can see some of them, they will be red, green, orange, whatsoever, but I only wait for the yellow. If I see the green turning yellow, I know this is the end of a trend. Normally this appears on level 3s. So normally this appears on level 3s, the yellow one. So now I've got this one, which we call the daily high and low. The daily high and low are the blue tracer lines. They are written daily high or daily low. Some of them, they are written yesterday's high or yesterday's low. So in general, what they simply mean is that look at where the market touched on this day. So on the next day, that's where they are going to print the low. Look at where the market touched the previous day. So the next day, that's where they are going to print their high. Right there, sorry, right there. That's where they're going to print their high. So on the next day, this is where the high was, and this is where the low was. Look at how they printed the high, how they printed the low and the high. On this day, this is where the low was. On this day, this is where the high was. Look at how they printed it. So they are actually printing for you the previous day's low and high. And remember, it is also a rule that sometimes, in most cases, the dealer forms these HOTs and LOTs on yesterday's high or low. So this is the reason why they show these low and high. And you can see that if you are having a trend, can you look at it? You are having something that looks like a step of some sort to show you that the market is really on an uptrend. Though your highs can actually be different in their appearance. Look at right here, your market actually dipped off. Right here, your market actually dipped off right there, and then it gained its momentum and moved high. But from your lows, because you're going up, you can see that you can actually draw even a trend line to show you that this is exactly what is happening. And now this was yesterday's high, and this is where we are getting an HOD for yesterday. So you can see that yesterday, tomorrow it's going to print a high somewhere there. That's why it's going to print it tomorrow. So if we are going downtrend, it means it's going to start printing steps like what it was doing here. This was your high there. Look at what it was doing for the highs because you're going down. So that's exactly what happens with your daily high and low. Now, we're going to go to the next indicator that I always like to add as well. The other indicator that I love adding, okay, there is this one, the currency symbol. Normally, these currency symbols, it's just to spice up your work to look beautiful. So you'll be just seeing this FJ, meaning Chief JPY. Sometimes you can see for other indicators, it can be written CD, XA, what, etc., etc., etc. It's just to spice up your. This one will give you the number of pips, maybe if you are on a trade. There is another one as well that is called Show Pips. This one that is called Show Pips right here. And you can go to your inputs and actually say it should show you profit. So you realize that sometimes it will be written false, but you can actually select that it should show you profits. So what's going to happen is if I enter a trade there, it's going to tell me when the candle is closing. It's going to tell me how many pips, and it's going to tell me how many dollars of profit am I having. If you are on MT5, you realize that on MT5, if you move your stop loss, it actually tells you how much you are losing. The stop loss, it will calculate for you how much you're going to lose from the distance of the stop loss. But I haven't seen it on H4, on MT4. I'm not saying that it's not there. I haven't seen it. Now, this one that says show weeks, if we place it, it will actually give you these. You can actually check them, or you can uncheck them. It's one and the same thing. These ones, they show me the number of days to say this is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, etc., etc. So it just shows me on which day I'm in, so that I don't have to ask anyone what's the date today. I can just look and say today we're on a Tuesday and we are trading so and so. So you can find that there are most duplicates. Some of them you can see that they are written 1111 because it's a duplicate. Some of them they are written 111 because it's a same, it's a different indicator but serving the same purpose. That is the whole point. Then we have another one that talks about the ADR marker. This one, the ADR marker, the line thickness, I love to put a 2 there, and I love to put a 3 there, so that the ADR marker becomes visible. Now, you can see this ADR marker is red. The reason why it's red is because it was hit and it turned red. But initially, maybe let me look for another, or this one was hit. Look for another play that didn't hit an ADR, like this one. It was orange. That's the reason why you are seeing it orange like this, because it was not hit. But if the price goes through it, the price line and the signal line, if the price goes through it, the bid and the ask price line, if they go through it, it automatically turns red. But if they don't, it may not turn red. So there are uses for this ADR. We just want to know how many pips the dealer is going to move in general on that particular day. We just want to know how many pips. That's the reason why you find the black line that I placed here. I actually placed it exactly at ADR high because that is where I was expecting people to place the sell. So you can see that the setup that I gave you was actually a zero drawdown. There was a matter of just placing either your sell positions, your sell limits, or whatsoever, and then you just get into profit there and there. So this is the whole point about an ADR. It shows me the amount or the range at which I'm expecting the dealer to move in that particular day. But the dealer can actually blow this and go beyond it. But in most cases, the dealer, when he gets past it, he sometimes, in most cases, traces back into it. So this is the ADR. But like I said, indicators are not to be trusted 100% because they are added confirmations. They are added confirmations. Then we have, okay, this one that is called day label is the same that is this one. The only difference is that the day label will actually give you a different thing altogether. You can see it actually moves with price. The days they move with price and they are shown exactly at the start of day. It's different from that one, which gives you the day of price right there. And these indicators, you can actually mark them or change their input to say they should start from which day, maybe to say they should start from 50 day, so they can start from the 50 day coming to the current day. It's all up to you what you decide for in case of for your analysis. Then there is this one which is called day open. Day open actually shows you when the dealer opened the day. So day open, you can see where this light line is. It's actually showing you where the dealer started his day. Where the dealer started his day. That is where you see this white line. So you can see where Chief JPY is now. It's exactly where the dealer started his day. So you can expect to see some consolidation there. I'm not saying that is what is going to happen, but it actually shows you where the dealer started his day, the open price, and there is a use for it. It can be used in many cases. Sometimes setups they happen there, the day open. You can see from these days that the price is actually taking place on day open. But these I said they are just added confirmations. So I'm just trying to look which are the indicator. Okay, there's another indicator that is called info panel. There's another indicator that is called info panel. Okay, this one. The info panel now, it also shows the same information as this ADR one, but it has a little bit of more information. It has a little bit of more information. So the info panel, in general, indicators are only there to assist us. So you can see here is written peak formation low 1670.24. So in other words, it's actually showing you that if you want to know the closest peak formation low, then you should look at 1670 point what. That's where you're going to see the closest peak formation low. Now look at that price there. It coincides with 1670. That is what is showing you the previous peak formation low. And the previous peak formation high is 722,819. That is exactly where it coincides, 722,819. That's your peak formation high. And then the 3 times ADR are the ones that we're talking about on that previous indicator, which is the same thing. The 3 times ADR, we're trying to say from the peak formation low to the peak formation high. How many pips did we cut? Is it the same value, or is it above the same value, or is it at least close to the same value? Then the 1 ADR indicator, we're trying to say how much is it from that box to that box. So you are drawing these boxes only because you want to plot from the highest tip of the price, which we call the peak, and we want to see how much is 2,167 pips. If you get it, then you duplicate the other 2 boxes, and you are saying I'm expecting price to move at least from that point up to that point. That is why I'm expecting price to move. So that is the whole point. So you'll be only checking and seeing, are we now at ADR 2 point? Are we now at ADR 2 point? Because sometimes levels are not clear. So this is a way of helping out yourself in order to determine where to actually go. So someone may actually ask, where do I get these rectangles? And people always ask, these rectangles, here it is here. You can actually come to insert, and you look at your indicators, your lines, channels, Fibonacci, shapes, arrows. If you come to shapes here, that's where you get your rectangle. It's even there in your phone. You can actually use it from your phone. So in general, I think that is all that I can say about our template. There is nothing much so important about the template, but the template does give us information that is very useful for us to be able to judge the, 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 the performance of price and the movement of price in the future. It helps us to be able to judge and be able to know where to expect the next move, where to expect a consolidation, where to expect a price to turn, where to expect a price to move, etc., etc., etc. So it gives us those clues or hints. So I'm not going to talk about all those things because it is as good as teaching you how to trade. So I'm just going to leave it here. Any questions, please do post them on our comments page on YouTube. And I hope you will be helped a lot from this template. And if you need the template and the indicators, please do go to our Telegram channel, and I'm going to post the link of our Telegram channel. Please do go there, and you'll see our indicators even on the Shared Media's page, and you can actually help yourselves from those indicators. Cheers.